And just to give you an idea, we have over 16 million customers. We do about $200 million a year annually, which makes us one of the highest selling brands in America. And just to show you a little bit of the quality of the product, go ahead and click next. This kind of shows you the quality of Cutco. Do you have shears at home that you use for yourself? Yeah? What do you use them for typically? Fabric. You're more of a fabric cutter with your shears. Do you ever use shears for like cutting the tops off, like like herbs or disjointing chicken or anything like that ever? You just pretty much use them for herbs. I mean for fabric. Okay. Is the video playing for you yet or not really? Oh, okay. What'd you see so far? Oh wow, isn't that pretty cool? Have you ever seen scissors do that before? Yeah. So yeah, those are super shears. As you can see, they cut through a penny, but also you can use it for like broccoli. You see how he's using it for broccoli. You can use it for opening up packages. I'm sure you guys open packages for like mail, right? You guys order on Amazon and stuff like that. Yep, so that's what you can use your shears for as well. Fabrics, as you can see, it cuts through fabrics, those hard plastics. You know what? You know how you get those packages and they're tough to open? Yeah, so that's what you can use those shears for. And the cool part about them, they come apart for easy cleaning. So you get the idea of how awesome they are? Do you get the idea of how awesome they are? Okay, great. Go ahead and click next. Let me go ahead and click next then. Let me show you what most people have. This is why we decided to make Cutco. Because of this issue. Most people have a drawer that looks like this. Does this look familiar to you? Yeah, most people have a drawer that looks like this. I don't know, whatever they say here. So, what do you do? What do you guys normally have at your home? Do you guys have wooden handle knives, plastic handle knives, or a little bit of both? Okay, so you got a little bit of both. Okay, wooden handle knives, by the way, they look good when they're new. Let me do a little knife education for you. Wooden handle knives look good when they're new, but they also fade, chip, crack, break, absorb moisture, bacteria, grease, odors, stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever seen your wooden handles do that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. And I don't know if you know this, but wooden handle knives are actually outlawed in 48 states for commercial use. So like you can eat with them at the restaurants, but they can't prepare your meals with them because they're so unsanitary. So most people don't have wooden handle knives nowadays. Like you said, you use more plastic handles, right? So yeah, the plastic handles are good, but they, as you know, they're cheap plastic, right? So they crack, they chip, they, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Do you do that? Are you asking them, you know what I mean? Are you with me? Are you doing those things, Taylor? Or are you just talking? No, I'm asking you, what do you normally do on your demos? Are you engaging them this much at this point, or are you just talking? Do you see how it would be effective if you did this? Right, and you're having a conversation the whole time. Okay, so please stay with me. Right. So I don't know what the manual looks like, but I'm just doing it as if I had a manual in front of me and I'm interacting with them. So I asked about the plastic handles because all that stuff is on the screen, but you're interacting with them. Has that ever happened to you? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you see how the plastic handles are cheap? I'm sure you've experienced this. Most knives have partial tang construction. As you can see, it says construction. That's the next thing. Most knives have a partial tang where the blade doesn't go all the way through the handle. I'm sure you have some knives that are probably glued in at your house, Mrs. Jones. Do you have any knives that are glued in at your house? Either way. Okay. Do you have knives that are glued in? I'm sure you have knives that are glued in the handle. Yeah. So that's not good because it breaks easily. Well, and then as far as steel is concerned, some knives are still made with carbon steel. Carbon steel holds a good edge. It's great edge holder, like if you're using it for like machete and stuff like that. But as you know, machetes, they rust, they pit, they corrode, right? So that's not the type of iron you want to get in your meals, I'm sure, Mr. Jones, right? I'm sure you work out. You don't want to get that type of iron in your meals. So most people use stainless steel. I'm sure you guys have stainless steel, right? Yep. So they're good. They don't rust, pit, or corrode, but also they just dull very easy because they're very just cheap steel. And then last but not least, will cost you more in the long run when you factor in the replacement cost. So I don't know what they say, planned obsolescence, all that stuff. So let me show you where we got the idea so let me show you what makes Cutco so great. So there's 5 features that make Cutco the world's finest set of cutlery. As you can see, what do you know is different about the handle, by the way? Yeah, and that has like an ergonomic design, so it kind of is molded to your hand, and you can see it says hand perfect handle, so it fits any size hand, left, right, big or small, and as you can see, your thumb and finger lock for better control and safety, so your hand is pinched behind the knife, so you don't have to worry about cutting yourself. And the handle material, it's made out of a material that's the same as bowling ball. So as you can see, it doesn't melt, chip, crack, or yeah, exactly. And it's also dishwasher safe. So most high quality knives, most high quality knives that people buy, they're typically not dishwasher safe, but these are dishwasher safe. So that's another feature. That's another benefit of Cutco. Yeah, definitely. And then as you can see, the blade goes all the way through the handle. That's a full tank construction, and it allows it to be has more strength and balance. And as you can see, the blade's all nice and shiny, of course. And that's the high carbon stainless steel. And it has stainless steel for the ability so it doesn't rust, pit, or corrode, but also has high carbon. That way it stays sharp for a very long time. We actually use 440A steel. I know you're probably not in the steel industry, but basically that's like the highest grade steel you can get. So it's like surgical steel, like for hospitals. So if we're using surgical steel, obviously it's expensive to use, but it's so worth it because it keeps an edge for a long time. So last but not least is the edge. As you can see, it has a double D. It says there. It looks like a straight edge. It looks like a double D edge. Well, I don't even know what I'm saying. Anywho, click next. Maybe there's the way to design the edge. Whatever it says in your manual, do. However you do that, do it. But you don't really have to interact there. All right, so they're going to do a test here with the 3 types of edges. The first is a straight edge. I don't know if you ever try to cut through fibrous stuff like meat with a straight edge. It's like really, it gives it a clean cut, but sometimes you got to saw through it a little bit harder. Have you ever experienced that before? Yeah. So as you see, as you can see, I don't know if it's gotten to that point in the video, but it shows like the edge and it gives a nice clean cut for the straight edge. And then there should be like a serrated edge, looking like a bread knife looking one. And I don't know if you guys ever experienced with a serrated edge where I don't know if you guys cut bread or tomato or things like that, where it'll just cave it in or shred it up. Have you guys ever experienced that before? Yeah. So that's the issue with serrated edges. So let me show you and I don't know if you got into the Cutco one, but as you can see, it gives one nice clean stroke, and it gives a nice clean cut. So it gives the strength of a serrated edge, but also the clean cut of a straight edge. So it actually has 3 straight edges that are protected by the point. So if you hit next, as you can see, it says 3 cutting surfaces. So it cuts forward, backward, and also straight down. So you can cut in 3 different angles, depending on what it is that you're cutting. So with the double edge, you can literally press down on something, you can literally slide forward with something, you can literally slide back with it, and it'll give a 3 cutting motion, which is pretty cool. So that's obviously an expensive edge to put on a knife, but it's so worth it because if used properly, Mrs. Jones, check this out. It'll stay sharp for, at minimum, 10 years. Isn't that pretty neat? Mrs. Jones, As you can see, from the handle to the edge to the way it cuts and the way the scissors cut the penny, Cutco's as you can see, it's really high quality, so it's really expensive. And I tell all my customers, you want to look at it as an investment, but to protect your investment, go ahead and click next. We actually have a forever guarantee, and there's 4 parts to our guarantee. First is forever performance. So if anything ever goes wrong with your Cutco, for example, if it chips, something happens to the handle, it rusts, it pitted, corroded, you just send it back and Cutco will send you a brand new one for free. Isn't that pretty neat? Yeah, now I know I'm here in Texas and you're in wherever you're at. So the next part of the guarantee is forever sharpness. Your Cutco needs sharpening. You have 2 options. We can either have a local rep in your area come out and sharpen your knives for you for free, or if I ever go vacation in your area, I guess I have an excuse now to go to there. I can come by and sharpen your stuff for free, or you can actually send it back to the factory, and you just have to pay like a minimal shipping charge just to get them to send it back to you. But they'll sharpen it for you for free, so you have a couple different options. Hopefully, you use the second option. I come vacation and spend a good time and use the guest house. I'm just joking, but last one. Then we got misuse or abuse. If you misuse or abuse your knives, for example, use a joke, how they break something and then they laugh. Yeah, so even if you break it on purpose. Last but not least, Mrs. Jones, which is the one that most people appreciate that I do virtuals with, is the money back guarantee. So just so you know, everything I show you today that you like, not necessarily want to get, that you like, that you not necessarily want to get today, but that you like, Cutco actually allows you to try it out for 3 full weeks before you make a final decision. So it's great because you can try out, and it's great because you can try out anything you want today for the 1/5 of the price and make sure you absolutely love it. So as you can see, Mrs. Jones, the guarantee is obviously expensive. It's obviously an expensive guarantee to have, but it's so worth it because it allows you to make a decision on Cutco today, but not a final decision until you've tried it out for 3 full weeks. For 3 weeks. So that's like a mindset you need to create for your demos. So you're not making a decision today with me, Mrs. Jones. You're making a decision after you used it for 3 weeks. So you're making a decision to try it out today, but you're not making a decision to keep it until you have it in your home and you've used it. Does that make sense? And that's why we allow you to try it out for the 1/5 of the price. So let me show you a quick video of customers that have Cutco and love Cutco. There's a few testimonials here for you, and I'll just let that play. You can hear them. Because I can say all the great things about Cutco, but it's different to hear from someone that actually has the product.
They're the best knives, and all the other knives I bought don't compare. You know, if you good knives in your kitchen, get a Cutco. It's the best.
You heard that, Mrs. Jones? She said investment. She said the best investment she's ever made. You know what I mean? Think about the house, the cars. Like, none of those are guaranteed forever. 25 years, Mrs. Hurd. You heard that? 20 years. 40 years. Holy moly. What have you had in your house that have lasted 40 years?
I like the grip of the handles.
Exactly. That's crazy. It's crazy. These people have had something in their kitchen for 40. I actually met a lady one time that had them for 30 years. And she got them as a gift. Isn't that crazy? Think about a gift. Think about a gift that you got. Have you had it for 30 years? Exactly. So, look at all those years. 1962, Mr. Jones. Look at all those happy customers. So, anywho, you get the idea, right? People love this stuff. So, now, Mrs.